What's up, guys? It's time for the new updated update 19 Blox Fruits accessory tier list. Let's get it popping, but before we do, don't forget to subscribe because every sub equals the update coming one day sooner. So let's hope update 20 comes ASAP. All right, here we go. Let's start off with the OG accessories, guys, the black cape. All right, so the black cape is a rare cape, so not really that rare. You can basically just buy for 50,000 from Paris. 5% all damage, not that greatest. 100 energy, 100 health. So if you're a new player, it's not really a bad cape, but like if you're a new player, you might want to use it. Otherwise, easily D tier. All right, guys. Next up, we have the black spiky coat. It's a drop from Jeremy. All right, 7.5% all damage, 200 energy, 200 health. You're gonna see it's basically just a slightly better version of the black cape. All right. And for that reason, it's going to easily jump all the way up into the B tier. So not a bad cape to have. All right, next up, we have another one of the capes. I believe this one is the blue spiky coat. All right, this one is basically a reskin of the black coat. All right, except this one is a little bit harder to get. You're going to see, look how much harder it is to get. But it also is going to give you actually quite a little bit better stats. So it's going to give you more energy and it looks like more health as well. So blue spiky coat, a very, very good coat to have in the game. So blue spiky coat, in my opinion, easily going to be honestly high B tier, maybe even S tier. What a great coat to have. Next up, guys, we have the red spiky coat. Now, the red spiky coat gives you health instead of energy. So it just depends on which one you want. This one is another drop from the Cursed Captain. All right, so they're basically the same in goodness. It just depends if you want health or energy. Both great options to have. All right, I am going to move the black coat to the C tier because it is slightly worse, but still not a bad coat to have in the game. All right, next up, guys, we have the Whitebeard Admiral thing. All right, just called the coat. This coat sucks. Look at this, guys. 10% melee. Actually, you know what? It's not terrible. 10% melee damage and 200 energy. So if you're a melee user or a Buddha fruit user, hey, maybe it's a good option for you. All right, so we'll put that up there in the C tier. All right, next up, guys, we have the Chopper hat. All right, called Choppa. This is a drop from Sea Beasts. Random drop. 3% Blox fruit damage. 15% skill cooldown, which is really good, and then it also resists Blox fruit damage, which is actually not a bad weapon. I mean, accessory at all. I'm gonna say probably high C tier to low B tier. Really good hat to have. All right, in the game if you are a fruit user or are getting attacked. Actually, more like if you want the skill cooldown. I would say 3% Blox fruit damage is not that great. All right, next up we have the legendary Swan glasses. Now these are probably one of the most used accessory in the game, called the Cool Shades. I guess they're dropped from Cyborg, my bad. This is the Swan glasses. So Cool Shades are a pretty easy drop from Cyborg. All right, 1 to 2%, but not that hard of a boss to beat. 7.5% all damage. Increase in movement speed. So if you want to move faster, these aren't a bad option. And a little bit of energy and a little bit of health. Because it gives so many things, I'm going to put in the B tier. Not a bad accessory to have. And also, it's obtainable in the first C, which is kind of what makes it better than a lot of these that aren't obtainable in the first C. So you have to like grind out a lot of levels to get them. But the Cool Shades, you can get them pretty easy after Cyborg. So definitely not a bad bet. Cyborg is only level 675. So fairly easy to beat. All right, in the game. All right, obviously, guys, I believe that is Frankie, but, you know, copyright names. All right. Next up, we have, let's go back to the accessory page. We have this cape right here. All right, I believe this is the dark coat. Let me double check. It's not the hunter cape. Yeah, this is the dark coat. All right, this is a mythical one, but it has a 5% drop, but it's from Darkbeard. So it's a little bit harder to get. I believe Darkbeard, yeah, you have to get a Fist of Darkness, so it's kind of hard to get. But it is a mythical accessory, and it is basically one of the best accessories in the game. Probably one of the few A tier accessories. 15% Blox fruit damage, so you are putting in the work. 600 energy and 600 health. Definitely a really good for fruit mains. There's a few better ones, but definitely a very OP accessory to have in the game. Highly recommended. All right, next up. All right, so next up we got this spiky hat. All right, it is called the Golden Sun hat, and I remember. All right, from the Death King. All right, this is a random surprise. It's kind of a rare drop. All right, you just got to farm a bunch of bones to get it, but it's not terrible. It's kind of an all-around hat. 10% damage, 500 health. So, like, you can't really complain. It's kind of a solid B tier, so not bad if you get it, but I feel like by the time you get this, you'll have something better, like the glasses or something. All right, next up, we have the Holy Crown. This is from the Soul Reaper. Honestly, a pretty easy boss to beat. All right, 5% all damage, 5% damage resistance, 5% energy regeneration, 500 energy, and 500 health. It's 100% drop rate, so as long as you get a Soul Reaper to spawn, which isn't that hard. All right, I believe, again, it's another, basically a drop from, what's it called, that guy again. So it's not a bad one. I'm gonna have to put in the B tier. It's not amazing. Like, you'll definitely get better in your Blox Fruits journey, but not bad. Next up, we have the OG Marine Cap. All right, this is one of the first accessories you'll get in the game, and it's not bad. All right, 7.5% sword damage, 7.5% gun damage, 10% sword skill cooldown, and 10% gun skill cooldown. So basically, it's a pretty dang good accessory as long as you don't really care about fruit as much. If you're more of a sword and gun person, not a bad one, so C tier for that. Next up, we have the Pale Scarf, one of the best accessories in the game. Look at this, guys. 15% Blox Fruit damage, 15% sword damage, plus 2 dodges, and way 10x, guys, larger instinct vision. Such an OP. It's a drop from the Cake Prince and Dough King raid bosses. Honestly, not that hard of a drop. I believe it's a 100% drop, so you should easily be able to get it. And definitely one of the best accessories in the game. Once you get it, stick with it. It's super OP, and I see so many people running this accessory. All right, next up, we have the one and only, oh my gosh, I gotta find out what it's called again. Sometimes I forget. Ghoul Mask, another pretty much classic accessory here. Fairly decent, I'd say. Look at this, rare drop from El Perro for 50. It's not, yeah, you just buy it, guys, for 50 ectos, which is not hard to grind at all, guys. Very easy grind. 35% movement speed, super fast, guys. One of the faster ones in the game. 500 energy and life leech, which is really nice, guys. Life leech is really good if you're Buddha and other things as well, guys. So Ghoul Mask is a very OP accessory to have, and honestly, I'm putting it at the S tier for its life leech ability. Very busted, guys. All right, really nice to have. And if your guys are like grinding and stuff with Buddha fruit, this is definitely one of the must-haves. All right, next up, we have the one and only pilot helmet. Now, the only thing that makes this special is this right here, guys. 130% movement speed. Super OP. 10% health regeneration is nice, and energy and health is also nice as well. Because it gives you the most movement speed in the game, I'm putting it at the S tier. All right, very good one to have. Next up, we have the classic Doflamingo pink coat. Very easy drop, guys, from spawn. 5 to 10%, 10% gun damage, 200 health. Honestly, guys, nobody uses guns in this game. D tier. Sorry about that. All right, next up, we have the one and only, I don't know, this one is, it's kind of a weird looking one. All right, where is it? The Jaw Shield. 50% movement speed is kind of nice. 12.5% melee damage is not bad. Melee damage resistance is pretty good. 500 energy and 250 health. Honestly, not that bad of a one. I'm gonna probably put it a little bit higher in the B tier, personally speaking. I'll probably put it a little bit higher up here, maybe like, yeah, maybe right around the cool shades, right around there. All right, next up, we got the this weird helmet looking thing called the, where is it at? Let me find it real quick. Sometimes it's hard to find these on this list. All right, the pretty helmet. All right, quest completion, pretty easy, guys, to get. 50% move speed is nice. 10% melee damage is good. 12.5% melee damage resistance, really good. So if you're doing Buddha fruit, this is not a bad helmet to have. All right, easily, squarely in the B tier. All right, not a bad look. All right, next up, we have the bandana. All right, I believe there's some multiple color bandanas, but I think they're all the same. All right, really easy drop rate. 80% movement speed is nice. 10% melee damage, 10% sword damage, and 10% gun damage, and 750 energy. So honestly, not a bad accessory to have, but the only problem is you can only get it in the 3rd C. So by then, you probably already have a pretty OP accessory. But other than that, bandana is not bad. I'd probably put it way up here in the B tier, maybe closer to the top. All right, I think these need to move a little bit lower if I remember correctly. All right, yeah, something like that. Should be fair. All right, next up, guys, we have the Valkyrie helmet. All right, definitely one of the classic accessories that a lot of people use. All right, this is dropped from Rip Indra. 15% sword damage, 600 energy, 600 health. All right, if that's what you want, it's not bad, but not a lot of people use those items, so B tier, but not terrible. All right, next up we have the bear ears from Death King. Not hard to get, but 10% damage resistance and 500 energy is kind of mid in my opinion. I don't really recommend running this, but it's good enough for like C tier in my mind, somewhere in there. All right, next up we have one of the newer items, guys, one of the new coats. All right, it's called Cupid's Coat. This was from the Valentine's Day event. This is one of the newer ones. All right, it's going to gift you 12.5% Blox fruit damage, 12.5% sword damage, 8% all damage resistance, 400 energy, and 600 health. Honestly, guys, this one is really spicy. I'm going to probably put it in the A tier. Definitely not a bad coat to have. I don't think it's quite S tier, though. Like, I would still use the Cupid scarf, but not a bad option at all. Actually, let me compare it quickly to the other one that's up there. Dark coat, 15% block fruit damage, 12.5%. Honestly, I think there's a shot for it to be better than... It's close, guys. It's really up there with the dark coat. It really just depends if you really want that all damage resistance or not. But I think it might be slightly better. It's pretty close, though. All right, next up we have the lei. All right, very easy to get. Super high health regeneration, guys. The highest health regeneration item in the game. So because of that, oh my gosh, where was this at? It's got to be A tier. There's no other item like it, so give it some credit where credit is due. All right, next up we have what looks like some sort of red cape. Let me see if I can find that one here. I'm gonna assume that's probably the hunter cape. Yeah, I think that's the hunter cape. Let me double check. Yeah, it looks like the hunter cape. Not a bad drop, guys. 80% movement speed, 750 health, not bad. 10% melee damage, not bad. Sword damage, not bad. Gun damage, not bad either. Overall, pretty good. So I think we're gonna have to put the hunter cape as one of the better items in the B tier. Again, look at those stats. Not bad stats at all, especially if you like speed. But if you don't like speed, maybe you want to go with a different item. But I definitely think it has the edge over the bandana. All right, next up we have the cowboy or musketeer's hat. Pretty decent, guys. If you're using swords and guns, it's not bad. But not a lot of people use swords and guns, in my opinion. So I'd probably put it somewhere here in the B tier. I mean, not many people use swords and guns, guys. But I mean, if you do use them, it's not bad. But kind of mid. Swan glass is another classic one, but these ones are not the greatest. 25% movement speed, mid. Not a lot of speed, but a little bit. 8% all damage, not bad. 8% all skill cooldown is pretty nice, though. And 8% all damage resistance is pretty nice. It's kind of an all around, but only 250 energy and 250 health is not great, but it is only a second C item. But overall, it's kind of mid. Honestly, though, swan glasses, it's tough, man. It's tough on where to put these. I don't know, man, if I could put them in the A tier. It's close, man. It's close. Maybe high B tier, low A tier. Are they better than the hunter's cape, though? 10%, 10%, 10%. Honestly, probably. Yeah, with the skill cooldown, I'd say it's probably slightly better, but it's close. But not a bad accessory right there. All right, next up, I believe we have another one of the hats. The swordsman hat, it looks like. All right, swordsman hat, 10% swords damage. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really feeling it, man. I'm just going to put in the D tier. It's mid. All right, next up, we got Tomo ring. 10% blocks fruits damage. It is easy to get. You just have to pay 500,000 belly. So that's kind of nice that it's easy to get, but, like, it's kind of mid, guys. I just don't really recommend it that much. All right, we'll speed run this next one, which is the... Not to remember what it is. Give me a second, guys. Top hat from Sabo. All right, you get it from the Sea Beast. 3% melee damage mid. 10% all skill cooldown is nice, though. And swords damage resistance. But I don't know, man. Maybe somewhere in the D tier. Not a great one. All right, next up we got Usopp's hat. 7.5% gun damage. 15% gun skill cooldown. Now that 15% gun skill cooldown is not that bad, actually. All right, you can probably maybe get some combos with that. But so C tier. All right, next up we have it looks like this helmet right here, guys, the warrior helmet. I think I use this one a lot. 5% melee skill cooldown is pretty nice, and 5% sword skill cooldown, plus a good bit of damage. So if you're grinding, this isn't a bad bet. All right, it's more of a grinding hat than a PvP hat, though. Personally speaking, I think it deserves... I'd probably say it deserves, like... probably somewhere in the B tier. I think it's a pretty good hat. All All right, next up we have whatever the heck that guy has on. Yeah, I legit don't know what this guy has on. Huh. Oh well, we'll worry about that later, guys. I think it might be the Santa hat is my guess. All right, zebra cap. All right, of course, guys, this is Law's cap, I believe. Yeah, this is from Law. 10% sword damage, not bad. 15% Blox fruit skill cooldown is actually pretty nice, though. 500 energy and 100 health. Not that bad if you're into that. So those stats, I'd say B tier. Kind of a good, decent accessory. All right, next up, we got the Holiday Cloak. 10% melee damage, 10% Blox fruit damage, 1 instinct dodge. I don't know, guys. It's not looking like the greatest of the coats here. Like, even the dark coat, I might pick that over it. It's not bad, though. I'd probably say, like, high B tier. Depends on how much you like the instinct dodge. It's not bad. All right, we got the party hat. 10% EXP. It's the only hat I believe that I know of that gives EXP. All right, and the other stats kind of suck, but I have to put it in the S tier because it does give EXP. So, like, it is worth it, man. All right, next up we have the heart glasses, heart shades, 12.5% melee damage, gun damage, all damage resistance, some energy, and some health. Not bad. I'd probably say like high B tier. All right, Santa hat, 30% movement speed, 12.5% Blox fruit, sword damage. It's not bad. I'd say like maybe A tier. Elf hat gives 20% melee damage and sword damage. I don't think that's as useful, so I'd probably put it somewhere in the B tier. I think the Santa hat's better. All right, then we have these two items, which I don't remember what exactly they were. My guess is I ranked them, but I just got a better picture of them. So, yeah, I think I already got all those taken care of. So there you go, guys. That is the new accessory tier list for update 19. I'll make a new one for update 20 whenever that drops. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about my tier list, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.